home building and remodeling show. Let's go. Welcome everybody to the home building and remodeling show. My name is Chris Kirby and I'll be your host. I am the owner of 3 construction companies on the Alabama Gulf Coast. The show is about residential construction. We're going to cover topics of home building and remodeling. Are you thinking of doing a remodel or building a home? Are you a contractor looking to improve your knowledge base or grow your business? Have you ever done a remodel project or built a home? There were so many things you wish you knew or that you could have done differently during the process. Then this show is for you. We break down the process of building and remodeling and how to have the best results during your project. Whether you're a DIYer looking for tips, someone looking to hire a contractor to do a project, or a contractor looking to expand your knowledge base or your business. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you. Stay tuned. We kick off the show with my thoughts on home building and remodeling. I'll share best practices and talk about some of our experiences in business and out in the field. These shared thoughts and lessons learned are meant to help you on your very own journey. Let's go. And here on Pro Remodeler this month, the magazine talking about going digital and making sure that not only are they saying go digital as far as your marketing, but they're also talking about digital walkthroughs and things like that. So when you're doing a remodeling job, making sure that you have befores and afters, right? That's kind of the standard now. It's for people to be able to see your work online, whether it be your Google profile, whether it be your Facebook profile or Insta. Those are a given. I think if you're not marketing yourself, at least on those platforms, then you're already a little behind the curve. But I would say even TikTok. So TikTok is becoming, the video links are becoming longer. There's more and more business owners adopting TikTok as an avenue for getting themselves out there. And so what you have to look at is the younger generation, the people that are up and coming, even say, for instance, my son who's 20, they're on TikTok. Are they on TikTok to do business? Not necessarily. However, if you're coming up in their FYP, if they're for your page and things like that, they're going to see you. And so as they continue to see you and you're branding yourself and you're talking about your work, or you're showing quick, funny videos of you and the employees or a day in the life at your job site or anything like that, they're going to remember that type of stuff. It's definitely important that you put yourself out there via TikTok, via Facebook, via Instagram. And if that gets tough for you, because as a contractor, we know we're out in the field working, trying to please the client. That is our primary duty. Then get with a local marketing company that can really help you out. For instance, here, I do a lot of the walkthroughs and different things like that. However, I do have a marketing company that really helps me continue to create brand awareness. And that's what I wanted to do. We're not online so we can get leads. We've got enough leads coming in organically, but what they're doing is strengthening our brand. So while I'm doing the walkthroughs and talking about different things that we do, maybe creating a how-to or the different tools that we use. So it's very important for you to be online and make sure that you're out there. And yes, it's a little scary because we all know as a contractor that we cannot please all clients, and it's very easy for them to jump online. It's easier, I would say, for them to jump online when they're mad about something that you did and blast you for it than it is for them to give a good review. No matter how well you think the job is, some people, myself included, are bombarded with marketing stuff so much that we're not going to take the time and go on there and leave a review. Bad news travels faster than good news. And it's a shame because it's that old adage that you'll go to Walmart no matter how bad it is, or you'll go eat at McDonald's no matter how bad it is and keep going back. But when a local business does something like that, one wrong thing, it really hurts them and they go after you and you're in the community, so these are your neighbors. You have to be seen or heard 7 times before somebody will use you. I don't necessarily know. I haven't done the analytics or research myself, but I will say that if it goes back to what I was talking about earlier, as these younger people on TikTok are growing up, and if they're seeing you in their FYP, or they're looking up DIY or something like that, and you're coming up in their feed, they're most likely going to use you as they get older. And that's what you want. You want to create awareness and make them know what you do, right? Make sure they understand what your business is. And then as they grow up, they use you. But also, I think people are adopting TikTok. They really are. Business owners and businesses are definitely adopting TikTok, and they're starting to use it. And I think it is going to be very relevant. And like I said, they're allowing longer videos and different things. I think they're tailoring it to small business owners because it can help a lot to market your business. But for me personally, I would consider myself a digital creator. I have gained a pretty good following, and I actually enjoy doing this because there's a need for education. As a contractor, there's a strong need to build up the skilled trades, put ourselves out there, let them know that this doesn't have to be a tough, dirty job all the time, right? There really is hard parts to being in construction. However, you can be a professional contractor, and that's what we have to make sure that they understand. At the end of the day, we're out here and we're really doing this because we enjoy it. We don't necessarily have to go from high school to college, that we can be just as relevant and make good money as a contractor and put ourselves out here online. You can do all this type of stuff as a contractor without a college degree or with a college degree. You can do both. It doesn't matter. If you went to college, there's a lot of people that go to college and don't know what they want to do. And we do get those people, and they're all walks of life. We've got people with degrees. We've got people that come just straight off the streets, not knowing anything, that are very green. And we have an apprentice style program, and we teach them and train them, and we let them know that what they do is important. And now we move into Shop Talk. It's the portion of the show where I bring in a co-host and we cover trending topics in home building and remodeling. Hope you enjoy. Let's go. You stuck it out at least 6 months. Hell, I've had people show up. Remember? I don't know if you remember, not too long ago, we had a kid show up. He worked with us for literally a day. Good kid. Thought he might work out. Yeah. And he literally came
the next morning, text and said, "Hey, I'm not.
This ain't for me. I'm sorry." And didn't even want his paycheck.
Yeah, and
right?
Then, Papa was like, "We'll mail you your paycheck, or you can come get it." He's like, "Nah, y'all just go ahead and keep it."
Keep it. That's like, because he was a good kid. He felt bad, but it took him one day, and you know what? It was paint. Everybody. Yeah, it was paint. It was not even the rough stuff. But it's not for everybody. But you start out doing that, and even in the Navy, I started out taking out trash, washing aircraft, like just doing stuff that you're like, I joined the Navy to be a badass. I didn't join the Navy to do this. Everywhere you go, there's that mentality. Bottom, really. Yeah, you have to, and you got to embrace it. Right. And then you just come through, and then you start to learn a skill, learn a trade. You figure it out. Once you learn that skill or trade, you've got a job forever.
Right.
Nobody can take that away from you, whether you do it individually or for a company. You've got that skill. And then you were able to take that skill and work your way even into leadership and management.
Right.
And it's a whole new ball game where you're not learning the trade yourself, you're teaching the trade, and then you're teaching people, and then you're helping grow people. And that's kind of what we want to do here, is give people that same opportunity, but we don't want to be a roadblock. So we are trying to, when they walk in, we're trying to lay out a career path for them where they can see clearly, here is how. Now, whether they walk that path is up to them.
Right.
But what we're doing is saying, here is the path.
Right.
And here is step 1 to step 2 to step 3, all the way to the top of the company, right? Here's how it's laid out. Here are your opportunities.
And now, this is the way to get there.
Exactly. And that changes because what did you see when you walked in? People yelling at you, telling you to get your stuff together and hand them something and stop standing around. And that still exists. And there's nothing wrong with that. You still got to get on to people. You still got to make sure that they're doing what they need to do, right? That still is there in any industry. However, we try to make sure that we have that, that we're people. We're managing people. We treat them with respect. I don't care if they're 18 or if they're 60 years old. We treat them with respect. I don't care if it's male or female. We treat them with respect. And we know that they're adults coming into a work world. And some of them have not just zero experience in construction, but they've got zero experience in life.
Right.
They're literally 18, just graduating, walking in the door. You can't treat them the same as somebody who's, been in the work field, or in the industry for 10 years and expect the same results. So we are doing everything we can to lay out a path. Now, again, it's up to them to follow that, but it's there. They can see it. They can walk in the door and know I'm an apprentice one, and here's what it looks like. And I can do this for 10, 20, 30 years. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what we all together here are trying to do, not just for our company, but we want people to mimic this, right? The Home Building and Remodeling show is on a mission to create that same pathway for anybody out there. Right. So a lot of what I'm doing is shareable, and we want people to reach out to us and say, hey, what does your apprenticeship program look like? Because it was hard, man. It was hard to set that thing up and to get it in motion. And the only reason that I was able to even create something like that was because I had the military apprenticeships to mimic, Right. So I knew that it worked, and I knew that it could work. But what I didn't know was the industry, right? I know that people come to the military being in trouble, right? That whole you better join the military or your life is over type mentality. So you get people who are acting up, being bad. You get people from every country in the world are in the United States Navy. And so I've seen all walks of life come in and have to adapt to the same system. And they did it, and had a career. And I had a career, and I was able to retire. And I watched my dad and Mark, my brother-in-law, bust their butt. And up until we created this, we're in a relatively similar spot, still spinning wheels, trying to get stuff off the ground. And I didn't want that for anybody that I knew, for them to have that same path where, they were always climbing out of a hole, trying to figure out what was next. So we put my background and experience together with their industry knowledge and technical experience, and we married the two, and that's how it worked. And as a small business owner, you've got to be resilient because you get punched in the face every day, and you got to kind of take it. And you never know what's going to come up or which direction it's going to come from, and you have to be resilient. I learned that in the military. I intended to get out, every tour. I was like, okay, that was the last one, and then 20 years later, I'm like, man, I am so happy I did that. So I want to do that same kind of thing for the people around us. And we hire people that understand that are like, hey, this ain't like a job. We're taking this serious, and we're on a mission to make sure that people understand construction, home building, remodeling. It can be a professional career, and we're taking it a step further. And we want to help people do the stuff that we've struggled through to create this path, and we've done together. And I couldn't sit here and work on apprenticeship programs if I didn't have people like you helping me as far as getting the job done. Right. At the end of the day, the job has to get done. Right. And there's a way to do it. So we had to really, all be on the same page, and we're still doing it. We've got so much further to go, but now we're able to do stuff like this and share these experiences and share our stories, and to educate people that, again, this can be your first choice, and you can have an entire career in construction. And you know what? You may start as an apprentice, and you may take out trash. You may pick up trash on job sites. You may mix mud. You may.
Yeah, I mean, that's where you're going to start. I'd like to say, before we're done, if you've hit a roadblock where you're, tired of what you're doing and you want to, learn a trade, or if you've, your lifestyle got carried away and, and you start your life over in recovery or whatnot.
Yeah.
This is a place where you can, construction field is where you can make a good career and a good comeback for yourself.
Yeah.
It's
low. It's a low barrier.
To real professional job when people really
dig into your background. They know.
Heart,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the thing is, and I say it's a low barrier to entry, which literally means there is no barrier.
Right. As long as you're able.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You're able-bodied and you're willing.
Most people will give you a shot.
Yeah. Now we're going to move into the portion of the show where we talk interior design. We're going to bring in an interior designer and we're going to talk trending design and products. Hope you enjoy. Let's go. You still got to do the floor prep, and you still want to, even though some of it has the pad on the back. I know our company, we always choose to put down what's known as like a visqueen or a vapor barrier because not just for the moisture, but it also helps to soundproof a little bit because it does kind of.
It can click. It can make that little noise that you hear.
Absolutely.
When you're walking on it.
But then also to help with that floor leveling as well.
Everything starts at the bottom.
Sure.
Everything. So if you don't have a good foundation, whatever you put on it is not going to hold its integrity.
Yeah.
But that's also another reason why luxury vinyl plank is so popular over here, being that we're on the coast and a lot of buildings are up on, condos, high rises. Those buildings have to be able to flex and sway because of wind and all that. Well, LVP has the ability, because it is floating, to flex when the building flexes.
So, and I'm glad you said floating. So you'll hear that. Some people will say, hey, a floating floor.
Yes.
And that is because it is not, there are multiple types of LVP, not just length and width, but however the installation, there is a glue down version of luxury vinyl plank. And so that is not a floating floor.
No.
So when you're buying the planks, then install them directly onto the floor. That's the floating version of it. And then the other version is you actually have to spread and level the glue and then you apply it. And it sticks to the glue.
Correct.
Okay. That's what floating floor means in that sense. And then also I just hit on lengths and widths.
Yes.
So let's talk about that a little bit. There are varying widths of...
Lots.
Okay.
And especially now, so you have luxury vinyl plank, which it emulates wood. That's where the luxury vinyl plank comes from. Wood comes in planks. Sure. You also have LVT, luxury vinyl tile, which is made to emulate either a stone or a porcelain look.
Gotcha.
So in the LVP, the wider and the longer the plank, again, that is where your price point changes.
Yeah.
So the thinner, shorter planks, you're putting yourself, in that lower kind of price point. And if you're going up to, let's say, a board that is 7 inches by, 7 inches by, let's say, 9 feet, you're bumping your price up there.
Absolutely. And for installation, I would say there's not too much of a difference. Obviously, if it's a thinner plank versus a wider plank, you're going to need more. And it does take a little bit longer because the coverage of a 4-inch plank versus a 7-inch plank is different. The installation is relatively the same. Yep. It's just accounting for the square footage, right? A lot of people don't know this, and we did a video with this on tile, but there are different manufacturers of this stuff. Correct. And they also have recommendations right on the box of how to install. And then, just what you should do. Should you put down the vapor barrier, different things like that. A lot of that stuff's right on the box, correct?
It is. And a lot of that's on there for warranty reasons. Sure. You do have to install it to the specifications of the manufacturer in order for them to maintain their warranties. Yeah. So it's important to look at that, or have whomever is installing definitely to look at that as well.
Got it. Okay. Well, I appreciate you talking about luxury vinyl plank, but I want to jump over to from the interior designer's perspective, right? We've talked about the affordability of luxury vinyl plank, but do you, as an interior designer, are you starting to see an influx of people wanting LVP, LVT, things like that?
Yes. Part of the reason behind that as well, not just the cost, because it's a man-made material, they're really getting very, very creative with it.
Yeah.
They recently started doing herringbone. So you can buy it
didn't
where
even
it's,
know that.
oh, it's gorgeous.
That's awesome.
It's gorgeous. And it's already pre-cut, making it incredibly easy for an installer. If you think about, because you're more on that construction end.
Right.
If somebody said, I want to do my entire foyer and a herringbone, you're going to go, ooh.
Yes.
That's
it's a
labor.
tough installation. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is already pre-cut. Also, one of the more trendy things, and it's kind of a trend that maintains itself, powder rooms, laundry rooms, doing some fun mosaics on the floor or what looks hand painted. Luxury vinyl plank is now going into that direction. Well, luxury vinyl tile is now going into that direction.
Thanks for joining us today. As always, we are grateful for our listeners and your continued support. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on social media via Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Get more info at our website, www.thehomebuildingshow.com. And as always, remember who we are, the Home Building and Remodeling Show.